Welcome to Under the Spotlight. Right here on Just Jamaica TV. Thanks to those who have already joined our channel. And we look forward to those who will in the days ahead. As we turn on the spotlight, here is your host, Stafford Perkins.
All right, where am I? Hey. Good afternoon. Welcome. This is a kind of a surprise show here today. I tell you, I got myself into all kinds of scrapes and problems in setting up this show. Sometimes when you're too early or you have your things too organized, you can end up making some errors, what I call unforced errors in tennis. Well, we're not playing tennis here today, and we're going to be featuring a man who's talking about cricket, and we're not playing cricket here today. I had a bit of a setback with the way I sent out my invitations, and boy, I tell you, I don't even know how people will find me here, but I have put some stuff. What's this? Oh. I have put some things in place, and sorry about that. Something was getting in the way of my program here. And okay. Some things in place, and I think I am getting there. All right. So again, welcome. We're just starting out, and my invitations went out, but it went out through a wrong channel. And I had to reset it. I ended up finding myself with two channels, and sometimes it creates a problem. So, at the end of this program, I'm going to have to work at eliminating one of them off of my computer because so I can get rid of it once and for all and never run into this problem again, because I ran into a very serious problem. I sent out a whole bunch of invitations, and the invitations, they're going to be lost in cyberspace because they're not the exact channel from which I am broadcasting. But those who are seeing me, you're in the right place. Stay with me. We're going to be taking a look. What's going on with this one here now? All right, we're going to be taking a look at what is going on with the man Percival James Patterson. Let me see something here. 1 second. Where am I thing here? This is what I'm looking for. Is this? Yeah. So, well, I tell you, the People's National Party, they just won't give you a break. They just won't operate like a normal political party. You can't force people to be what they're not, and you can't fit, they say, a round into a square. There's something wrong with this party. It's the wrong people are in charge, apparently, because the decisions they're making, they're just not adding up. You listen on one side, you hear them with this nonsense with the local government, the handling of money as it relates to electioneering. One complaint came out that they had taken money from one place and put it into another. And then when people started crying out and asking questions, and the media started asking questions, first we heard that the money was disbursed out of the municipality funds. And when the heat came it drew a lot of heat because the mayor's name got called in it. This other person got called in it. Dayton Campbell name got called in it, and so they found themselves in a jam. Now, after good maybe a week, nearly 2 weeks of the noise making, and people are crying out and asking questions, they came back. I think it was yesterday, and they said, "Oh, that money wasn't out of the municipal funds. That money was given to us by some contribution." Now, there's still some problems there with that money, as to how that money got into the party, why the money was sent to the mayor, or why the way it was sent, the way it was handled. Because if the party is getting money, the money should be sent to the party, and the party central should be the one who handles that kind of stuff. The secretariat, they are the ones. The management of the party should be the one who would be having that money, and to say, okay, this is how we would like to spend this money because we have an election. We are expecting an election. They are even expecting it earlier than maybe Andrew has in his head, because as you know, we have to wait on the prime minister, or wait at the prime minister's mercy when it comes to calling an election in Jamaica. But the PNP, in their wisdom, they're getting all excited and they think that the election is going to be called, and everybody's all worked up and they're running up and down out there. So lo and behold, as you know, when did I do that? Today's Wednesday. I did that. It must have been Sunday. Yes, Sunday, with Super Bowl day. I did that one, and it's Sunday, where we went into some serious issues that they were having, and it appears that the thing is not going too good for them. It's not going too good for them, and so they came back now when it relates to election, and they started to putting out a different kind of vibe as to how they're going. But the strangest thing that came out, of course, of the recent utterings out of the party is the one with PJ Patterson. Patterson, 90 years old this year. The man had an accident where he knocked over his own gate. Nobody knows, never heard how that accident went, but we know it had him laid up for a long, more than a year. He was, under serious doctor's care. And to this day, he has not even gotten back to full health with that. So we see that the party has this little tendency where they go out and they bring in KD Knight one time. KD is also another senior in age party stalwart. And KD himself came out one day and he was all excited and he's going out there and went out for a little while. But when they see him after a couple of weeks and they saw him, he looked pretty banged up. And I think his better judgment told him to pull back. And he has gone a little quieter of late. But here comes Mr. PJ Patterson. In his wisdom, 90 years of age, and he said, this year he'll be 90, and he said, he came out and said, oh, he has been called, because he has this term that he used, the Pavilion. He said he's in the Pavilion. When he doesn't want to get involved in anything, he said, I'm in the Pavilion now, so I'm just here watching. But for some strange reason, he said the party called him out of the Pavilion to come to come on the team, come back and join the team and become an opening batsman. Now, an opening batsman is a serious position that, you have to have a lot of nerves. You have to be very sharp-witted. You have to have every bit of your awareness and your sense of ball movement and you can read the game, you can read the boldest attitude and what he's coming with. You have to be sharp to be an opening batsman. Now, just let's think about this. Clive Lloyd, which I think maybe somewhere in that 80s or one of them 80, 90 kind of age too, or Viv Richards up there, 70, close to, in his 70s. And the West Indies went through a struggle for the longest while. Why would anybody want to go for Clive Lloyd or Viv Richards, or even go back further, since we're looking for these real old people with very limited movement to become the opening batsman in a game that when you send an opener out there, an opener is better. The opener has to be very sharp. And you send this person to go open your batting who's slow, eyesights are not so good anymore, the hearing is not so good anymore, and you send him out there. And you have to say he or she, because the women are playing some serious cricket now too. And you send them out there, these old people, and say, go open batting. Who the hell in their right mind would take up PJ Patterson and say you're sending him out there to be an opening batsman? Something is wrong with this picture. He said, I'm going out there to open the batting for them. Open to do what? To say what? Now, it seems to me something is going on in PJ's head again, another instance where he has gone out to attack the Prime Minister, to say that the Prime Minister is not doing a good job. And obviously, he's not driving around a lot to see the development taking place in the country. Somebody come tell him some nonsense and he's spurting the nonsense. But the real issue that I want to address this evening is the one with him saying that his people have called him out of the pavilion, out of retirement, to come open the batting for them. Now, there's a thing they call elder abuse. There's such a thing they call elder abuse. You don't just go and go take your old grandmother, and if you have an old enough mother, old mother and old grandmother, old grandfather, old grandmother, out of their comfort zone where they sit in their favorite chair every day, get up and they find a little shaded area in the yard and they sit there and they listen to the radio and the talk shows and they feel comfortable and they go through that every day, and that's what makes their day. Come Sunday, they get up and they go to church, or, sometimes where I am, people, the older ones, they like to find themselves going to the post office first thing on a Monday morning, all that kind of way. They find something to do. The next busiest thing you have is going to the doctor. PJ should be spending his time going to the doctor, sitting out, listening to all of the talk shows on the radio. Nobody should be calling PJ Patterson out of his comfort zone of his chair that he has under a mango tree or a coconut tree up in that place where I'm living named Uhuru. Nobody should be doing that. The only time PJ should be calling his party is when, some big event like the conference or so, and you make every effort to make him comfortable, and rarely do you call them to say, come and give a speech. But if you think he has something to say, then you make the necessary provisions and bring him forward to make a speech. But to bring him out, to go into the field in hot Jamaica, fiery hot sunshine Jamaica, you bring PJ out to say he's coming out of the pavilion to go open batting. Now, what that says to me, that smacks of desperation. We see that the party, when this poll came up recently, and two polls, one for the PNP first and one for the JP, and both polls are saying that they are out in front, and by almost like the exact same amount, 6 points ahead. And when people started to compare and analyze, they started to say something's wrong here. Why? What is wrong with this picture that both of these polls are pretty much saying the same thing? So we know that people are nervous. People are trying to position their party, to say they are the ones out in front. But to go out there and say you're going to bring PJ Patterson, now the first thing, wow, if somebody wants to join me very early this evening, I'm going to allow his first cut. I want to let you know that you're on air, and I open it only because of who you are. So if you didn't mean to come on and to go on air and to speak, madam, you can say I'll call you back. If not, I'm going to put you up so people can hear you. I wasn't quite ready, but I'll allow you. Hi, how are you doing, Miss Francis? I'll call you back. All right, cool. All right, good. Thanks. This is a good friend of mine. I thought she was calling to come and hear. All right, so the point I'm making now is it seems to me like the PNP is getting desperate. Because, I could see, for instance, God forbid, they go on this election and they win, and you bring out all of the old stalwarts and you bring them out on the stage and you parade them, and everybody check in and you get a little time to say, look, a 2 minutes thing, or you just wave to the people. But to bring PJ Patterson, a man with a sick foot, his knee got messed up in that accident in his gate when he ran into the gate at Uhuru, damaged his knee badly, and he has not recovered fully. So he walks around with a walking stick. And then to see PJ come out and to say he is coming out of the pavilion so that he can go and open the batting for them. What nonsense is that? Is that the best the PNP has to offer? Is it sheer desperation that they first put out a poll, which is very questionable, and then they come back now to say that they are bringing out an old retired man out of retirement to come to open the batting for them in what is more than likely is going to be one of the hot, I hope not in terms of the violence part, it is going to be a hotly contested election. People are going to be out there working their butts off, and it's going to be very hectic. What can PJ Patterson do for the PNP at this time? And again, I say, what they are doing is what is regarded as elder abuse. You don't go for old people and take them out of their retiring years and tell them to come help you to try win an election. No, PJ Patterson, you might have forgotten. And let me say this before I go any further. I want to say to the lady named Karen Cross, you did a really good job last night where you handled it, and you promised to come back tonight. It is not because I know you're coming tonight where I've come early. I'm trying to change my time so more people can become involved. I can open the gate, for more people in far-flung places like Europe. I kind of messed up today because I sent out a whole bunch of invitations and it went out on a wrong connection. So I had to pull it back, but most of it is out there, and hopefully later on when I get to resend it, I'll be able to, reach those people and they'll be able to listen later on or something. Yeah. So let me look at my see who is out there. Karen Cross, early chat. All right, Miss Karen Cross is out there, and she just wanted to. I guess she just want to let you know that she's there. I'm gonna, tell everybody after this. I don't know, Karen. Just type and tell me what time your program comes tonight, because that's something I didn't pick up. Let me know so I can mention it, because I'm going to be tuning in myself to later on this evening. And that is the Royal Karen, Royal Jamaican Karen Cross. That's her, the big boss of the resistance. So let me know how she say. Oh, I thought you said you were going to come back tonight. Oh, it's not tonight. I thought you were going to come back tonight to deal with Percival, but apparently it's not. I misread. But that night was great, and I'm looking. You say you're going to. I think you're planning. I think it's almost like you're saying you're going to flame. You like the old British people when they say they flay you. I don't want to use the full term of what it really means, but I know you send out some serious warning to him. And I'm gonna be. And if you feel like you want to jump in, what's her name was there. So if you feel like you want to jump in and come talk with me, because I tell you I left off a lot of me. I kind of messed up with the way I set up the thing, so I have time to bring in anybody this evening. So, but I want to go through it and for us to seriously think about what the PNP is doing. Is it out of desperation? Is it desperation to go out and to go bring PJ Patterson to go fight your battles for you, to go fight Brogard and his successes? Are you not serious? Come on. Who? You know something? I'd love to hear from the psychiatrist. Yeah, I'd love to hear. I hope when she goes to when she goes to, she's in the House. I mean, she's in the Senate. I hope when she goes to the Senate, she talks about this kind of thing, because it's elder abuse. And for them, because they're in such a desperate strait, the PNP party, they have reached out for an old man, sick old man, because the man's knees are bad. At least one of the knees very bad. And he walks around with a walking stick now. They're going to do what? Take him out on the road to go remind people? No, remember, there's one big strike PJ Patterson has against him. One big, huge. And you put one word to it, Finsack. Put Finsack to it. And that will just perish any thought he might have of thinking that he's this very popular person and very loved person. A lot of people lost their lives out of that thing which people now call Finsack. Finsack wasn't the cause of the thing, you know. Finsack came about because of the collapse of the Jamaican economy. Because Percival Patterson had a man named Omar Davis, a geologist, which he appointed as his finance minister for more than 10 years. He had him there wreaking havoc on the Jamaican economy, destroy the Jamaican economy, and then you come and bragging like you did anything. The Jamaican economy was wrecked because of your finance minister. I think eventually it was could have even been Portia who came and got rid of Omar Davis. The man was not a finance person. He was a geologist, or he's a geologist. He wrecked the Jamaican economy. So for you to come and tell this government, I will no brief for the party, for any of them right now. And if in my time, if I were to actively support, I would have been supporting the PNP. But I cannot support this present PNP or the PNP in this present state that it is in, because there's a serious problem with the party, a lot of integrity problems, a lot of wrongdoings, misdeeds. If you look behind this party right now, there's a string, a line of bodies, unalived bodies, where the ones, some people when they were coming, what they did to get to where they are and what they did to others to get to where they are. So for you, Mr. Patterson, to come and give the impression like you had it or you left such a grand legacy. Oh no, you're wrong on that. Yes, some roads were built, but you know who was the Minister of Construction when those roads were built in Jamaica? The man named Dr. Peter David Phillips. So that it doesn't necessarily mean it's PJ Patterson who built those roads, because everybody know that any ministry that Dr. Phillips stepped in, magic was almost, you want to say magic was performed and transformed the place. He went into the health ministry, the same thing. He went into the security ministry, the same. He transformed the thing and made it way better. So for you now to come and start to criticize the government and to make it look like you lasted long. But guess what you lasted long on? Guess what was the premise on which you last, why that people kept you there for so long? It was a man named Eddie Siaga, a white man, a Tapanaris, a Massa, who was in charge of the JLP, and even the people in the JLP didn't want him. So now here we are now. You have a white man in the PNP, which people don't want. He destroyed the party to keep himself. The first act of disrespect that he showed when he went into the parliament as the leader of the opposition was to tell this lady Garvey, Nita Garvey, to move from behind him. He didn't want her behind him. Disrespect by a black woman sitting behind him. He didn't want that black picture behind him. Yet till you come presenting yourself, you must have, Mark, you present yourself making your speech and you put this black child behind you to say, like, to show how cool you are with black people. So, and who put you there? This same PJ Patterson. Patterson, who came to power on on this mantra, black man's time. It's a black man's time. And you got there. People voted for you because we believed in that. And you went there, you messed up. You messed up. And then you left the thing in a bloody mess and think that you did well. You lasted long. You were there for about 18 years. I think you did about three terms, which one of them might have had about 6 years in a while, and then you had some leftover time from Michael Mann, the time that you were, when you became in charge of the thing. Michael got sick and you took over. And so you got to this place because you came on this thing of riding on this horse called Black Man Time. And you went in there. In fact, let me remind you, Mr. Patterson, you came to New York. I think it was either the year just before you became prime minister, or within that same year. And you came, or you might have been elected and you were making your tours and you come meet the diaspora. And you came to Brooklyn at Medgar Evers College. And you gave a speech where you talked about Marcus Garvey and that your commitment was to make Marcus Garvey part of the school curriculum in Jamaica. You were there for nearly 20 years and you left, and we are no closer to making Marcus Garvey part of the school curriculum. I'm doing a lot of talking this evening because, I didn't prepare a lot of stuff because this is outside of my time, outside of everything, but I have enough on my chest to say something and think. Right now, it's just about 5:30. I'm just about 30 minutes I've been talking. So I just want to say to anybody, if you think this is an important or interesting topic, and that I should continue to talk, because I want to bring some more out of myself about this nonsense. Just please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and continue to make comments. I know some people are already making comments. She said last night, putting out a video later on. Okay, on PJ, it's not like you're going to come live. You're just going to do a video. I got you. I had asked Miss Karen Cross if she was coming tonight, because I thought she was coming tonight when I heard her, but she said no, she just putting out some kind of video later to talk about this thing with PJ Patterson. And I'm telling you, she had to inspire me last night, because I said what she was saying was very, very right on target, right on point. And so I believe that it is the duty of every Jamaican to remind PJ Patterson that he should not come and play this game like he was any paragon of virtue. We know your story. All of this nonsense where you talk about corruption and who is the most corrupt and whatever. We know your story, sir. And, So we're not going to be fooled. Enough of us are around here who know you and know you very well. Know your story. Know the whole thing. Can call stuff. Some people used to call it the brown envelope man. We know the story. We know we know story of people being in a place and called certain names and your name got called and someone said, oh, you have this beautiful chateau in the south of France. We hear these stories. So we think you better keep your mouth shut. Because if you took on Cliff Hughes, maybe Cliff Hughes was too inexperienced or something, and you won your case and they gave you because you're part of the Tappanaris clan and then give it to you what they want to give it to you and beat up Cliff Hughes. But we are saying enough of us are here who have your ticket, as we used to say. You have your number. Right? And so that we just think you should be very, very, very step very carefully with this thing when you're going out there, because I'm not here to prop up Andrew Holness or to say Andrew Holness is an angel or is some paragon of virtue, those kind of things. Until somebody can prove something. Yes, thank you, Karen, the doctor, the great Dr. Sapphire Longmore. I think I would love to hear Dr. Sapphire Longmore talk something about PJ Patterson as it relates to the party putting him out there to become the opening batsman. Was it the party who told him this, or is it something that is he grew up in his own mind, something like them say, just evolving in his own mind? You know, there's a little man in America where him say him have a worm in his brain where he told him brain, and boy, I mean, very weird when him talk about things. Is it one of them situations where a worm get to in your brain and you're coming out talking this nonsense about you coming out of Pavilion to opening batsman? Opening batsman for what? If you stand up in that sun for even 10 seconds, they're going to have to pick you up. They will have to put you on a stretcher. So I hope them, when them take you out there, I hope them about the traveling with an ambulance. Make sure them have an ambulance. Make sure them have a kind of, what is something named defibrillator and a kind of something to revive you when you get hit. I don't want to put nothing on nobody. Some of them now call the names of there. And you know me say, when it come down to if I medicine, we can call some names, and if I economics, we call some names, and the science and everything, we will call the names of them. Because I read a lot. I read a lot over my life. Some of know things go. But my thing is this evening, when I heard the way PJ Patterson was talking, as if he left us with this great legacy. The one legacy you left, Mr. Patterson, you won 3 elections. And guess what happened? You are terrified that Andrew Holness is about to take down that record. And if he take down this record, and the way things are positioned, he might surpass you, because he could got him young enough to go past, pick up 4 years more or 5 years more, and after this 5 years, another 5, and then your record is gone. Let me just look at some of the people who are commenting, and then we'll move again. Besides Karen, it's just some of them just are coming. Say, hey, say good afternoon, Mr. Perkins. Good afternoon. Peter, I think he come a little earlier. Give me a little bit more time on this so I can go through some more. All right, I will just open until it. Stand by. Stand by, Peter, because I'm not open quiet, but I don't want to lose you, because I want you to come make your part. When you come make your others might want to join in later. Let me just go back to where I was knocked off. Right. And then Maxine Anderson, she said, said termite. Karen, she said, good evening all. Yeah. We had a great time last night, Karen. Believe me, I was, one at a time I got a phone call and it just threw me off and I didn't get to listen to the rest of it. But I'm going to go catch it later on at some point. So she's putting out one more on PJ. Yes. And that's why I thought it was coming this evening, but she's going to just do a tape and put it in a video. I guess record a video and then just put it out. So I'm looking forward to that. Peter, I know you're there. I've not forgotten you. So if anything, make some noise if you think I'm staying too long. But let me just finish some of my thoughts here. And then I ask you to join me. Don't move, all right? Let me turn it up a little bit. Let me see. Where am I? Ooh. No, I deliberately had it down because what I want to say is a client of mine, and she was calling. Maybe she want to make a contribution outside of the being on ear. So I open you up so don't make any noise, all right? So that if anything I can hear that, remind myself you're still there. So so the thing about it is that PJ seemed to have forgotten that he was the one who was older than most of us. and we're still here. People are still hurting from the actions of his party that he led, that he was the prime minister. We gave him, because of Eddie Siaga, we gave him almost 20 years running Jamaica. And all of the great things that we had in mind that we would have acquired or achieved through this thing, Andrew Holness has run rings around him with his 2 terms so far. And to come now and to come out and criticize him and how people are hungry. I mean, somebody just destroyed him. He went out and he talked about, I think it was Nat Stacks who destroyed him, Royal Maroon Warrior. She destroyed him because he went out and said, "Oh, we have this, he's doing so badly with the unemployment and poverty, something about the poverty rate." And she was able to go, she read it somewhere, she did her research, and she came back and said, "No, you had one of the worst records when it comes to poverty, PJ Patterson. You had one of the worst records." So you might, I don't know, maybe your brain, as you grow older, the brain kind of start let go of a lot of stuff. And maybe the brain, your brain is, kind of giving you away these days. Because you forget, or you're forgotten, that people, a lot of us are still here. We are here, and we remember, and we were cheering for you, and we were supporting, and we supported you, and to the point where we loved you. But when we have now come to learn who you are, Mr. Patterson, that it was you who engineered this thing to give us this Englishman. You engineered that one to give us this, I want to say retard. My friend wife is a psychologist, and I'm saying mustn't call people retard anymore, but we grew up old time days. That's why me when we call Mr. Retard. It got hard for come out of me. You give us this retard, you force them on us. You get him to say, "Oh, if nobody else says anything, let the retard alone speak." And when people hear him talk, they're gonna say, "Yeah, he's the good one." But guess what? No. Nowadays, when he's being forced to talk, let me remind you, Mr. Patterson, this is who you have given to us. That's
independence and free the people from injustice. Your party needs you now. It's time to step up and get busy and get wicked financial. If you think this thing will come easy, you're fooling yourself. It not come easy, baby. Right now, give up this so easy. And the first step in the journey, Congress, is to win back local government in the next elections. When we do that, Jamaica, as I said, the table turn. We know when the football mountain, minister scandal, not all. Because everywhere him go, scandal, following. And they might talk about, yeah man, they love to see me in charge because they know so we can't win. Yeah man, go and talk them thing there. Go and run up about them way the minister scandal. Because me have come amongst the people that when we talk to people that know so we're real. And I know so them hand my heart is with them. And I them come for sure. When I come here, so we scream. When I come here, so we get them out of politics. We done like my money already. There are big liars in this country. Big investment fund. And those that are not the politics, you know business.
Yeah. So, so you see, listen to that. The question I really want to ask, and it's not about the full focus is not on Mark so much, you see, Massa Mark, not it's PJ. But what is it that makes people want a person to be their leader? Is it because of the light complexion? Is it because of the intelligence? Is it because of the good programs that they present to say that this is what we have for the country? What is it that you have? Where is the value in that kind of talk where you talk about we're wicked upon them? Wicked on who? Who? We lived through that in the 70s. I've said this before. We don't want to go back there. So PJ Patterson, you are the engineer behind this person, this Englishman. Is it because you lived in England at one point? You missed having the Englishman lording over you while you have brought one into Jamaica? Or the talk we are hearing is that how this Englishman came to be is that there was a, what do you want to call it now? There was some kind of oath taken, some kind of pledge made to say Peter Phillips will never be Prime Minister of Jamaica. Is that where that is from? Why Peter Phillips, one of the most brilliant minds Jamaica has produced. And once upon a time, we used to look at you, Mr. Patterson, as a brilliant legal mind. And here we are a person with the economics that we wanted, that the country so badly wanted. And you deny them the opportunity because of some personal grudge, some personal vendetta. You deny him that he could not become the person he could have been. And then you went out to pick this Englishman who is not even a dim-witted one on top of it too. You bring and gave it to us. And then you tell us that you are coming out of, because you see like you know what you have done, Mr. Patterson? What you have done for me is to answer the question, which one of the polls are real or is real? Which of these two polls is real? Is the result, which one of them is real? The one I think which is real now is looking more real to me is the JLP one, because it shows me after that poll came out, you're showing us that this very clear picture of desperation, that the party is desperate right now to try to come with something to fool the Jamaican people, to say we are the ones, pick us to run this show. And this is what we are seeing now, where it is this problem that has now developed, where the people are seeing and understanding what is needed. What is needed is to show us a sign that yes, we understand that the economy was in a bad place. Yes, we understand it's raising up and getting ready to get, become a instead of just a weak pup, it's getting ready to become a roaring lion or tiger or something. It's showing signs. And you are terrified, you're scared. What is it that you guys are so tuned in and locked into this thing of wanting to see massa rule? What is it? Is it that you fear it might become so good that the better the economy comes, the more it's going to expose you? Because I can tell you something. When I watch how people have been reacting to what has happened to the economy, even the young people, some of them barely were out of Pampers. Them can read and them know and them suffer themselves. Them hear about the FinSac debacle. They hear it and they know it, and they know that the country paid a dear price with you at the helm, and you had somebody who you had as your finance minister who was never qualified for that job. Omar Davis was never qualified to be in that position. And you gave it to him, and because you knew all along, you know who come save this day? The lady who want to call the dunce one. She saved the day by putting Peter Phillips in charge because she knew that he had what it takes to bring the economy out of the mess. What if Portia was walking around with a grudge or some kind of vendetta against, what was Portia was walking around with some kind of vendetta and said to herself, you know, I'm going to pledge that Peter Phillips will never become anything in this thing, because he almost became prime minister, you know. In fact, they said in the last year of her time, it was he who was running the economy and keeping it going and building and what was there. So when Nigel came, Nigel just took a nice platter of food and go eat it all to himself and take claim for everything. So we want to know why, what is it that you have against Peter Phillips, why you left the country in the shambles you left it in, because you wouldn't allow him to sit in the seat of the finance minister and straighten out the country from way back when. You kept Omar Davis, who knew nothing about finance, about running a government, about running a country. You kept him there, and you were ready to even give him the position of prime minister of the country. Sandra Atkinson Hibbert, I'm not so sure what that is all about, but Sandra Atkinson Hibbert, Maxine today, Mark British passed through Central Labourite, done it. Not so sure, but apparently passed through somewhere in the thing. But all right, Peter, I know you're there. I'm going to bring you. Let you say something so you don't stay too long in the silence, and then I forget you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Peter comes in every now and again and join me and make his contribution. So I am going to invite him. Peter, you can say Peter from Queens, New York. And so, Peter, what you saying? What's up?
Peter, Mr. Perkins, I tell you something, boy, you really and truly have come out and I hit some hard point today, you know. My God, you get on fire tonight. You get on fire tonight, Mr. Perkins. Don't burn them too much, because none of them are wearing them asbestos underwear.
Oh, Jesus.
You have to keep on now, Mr. Perkins. Don't burn them too much, man. Don't burn them too much. But Mr. Perkins, me tell you, say, listen, you're right. They're going to commit elder abuse. Elder abuse by the little old man, you say, no.
No, it's serious, and I want to hear from Dr. Safari Langmore when she goes to the Senate on Friday. Tell us about this elder abuse thing, because do we bring out the old people them to come do our bidding when we can't manage the whatever the challenges of the day are?
It's elder abuse, Mr. Perkins. It's like them just put him in a chair and start beating him. We don't know what them I do. What am I doing, Mr. Perkins? It's wicked. You know, to the man, it's going to get wicked out there. And look what I do for poor PJ, Mr. Perkins. You might come to make it wicked from PJ to now. Wicked. These are wicked, evil people, Mr. Perkins. Because make a man do elder abuse like this.
Yeah, serious thing.
Wicked, evil people, Mr. Perkins.
Serious thing.
I'm going to say to myself, say, the man tell you, why did Jamaica people know? It's a wicked out there.
Yeah.
Now you see with your own eyes, this a man that commit elder abuse. They can go man out and rocking chair and say, come.
From on them coconut tree.
From on them coconut tree. And drag him up and say, come, you can serve your master. That's what the master used to do in the old days, Mr. Perkins. No matter how old the slave, no matter how old the slave not get no rest.
You better come, him tell you better come earn your keep. You know?
You better earn your keep, No matter how old the slave, no matter how much good service you give to the master, that's not enough for the master, Mr. Perkins. Never enough for the master. The master always has to listen. You is my slave. I warn you. No highball me. And give her your mouth. Mr. Perkins, me tell you, say it's wicked. It's going to get put it out there for the Jamaican people that we people the elder abuse from PJ Patterson. Stay in your rocking chair, PJ.
And then to make the thing such a clear picture is painted when he does that. And you know that something is not right with this head. Now, cricketing is a very, is a strenuous game that requires, the best of health. You have to be in the best of shape physically. You have to be in the best of shape mentally. And, everything has to be right. And your eyes have to be sharp and your ears have to be sharp and everything. And when you hear the man start saying, "Oh, I'm in the pavilion and I've been called out of the pavilion."
Mr. Perkins, you might literally believe that you're really a Batman.
And it might, that's the point. That's the point. You know how, we don't want to make, we don't want to make fun of the elderly. You understand? No, but I'm just saying, doesn't it sound like something like an old, demented person would say? Because they're living back their past lives, the past best lives, and they come and I used to watch a program, the Royal Karen might know the show, Keeping Up Appearances with Hyacinth and Hyacinth father.
I remember that program, Mr. Perkins,
yeah,
the English program.
Yeah, and Hyacinth father went to war and he apparently was shell-shocked. And he used to go around and hide behind the bush. He have a stick gun. He have a stick rifle. And he used to run around the place and he used an orange. He would have an orange. And he would go, make the action of throwing a hand grenade. And so, this is a thing because he still thinks he's in war. And Omar was never qualified to be a finance. Exactly, Avis.
Couldn't even run a party shop. Omar couldn't even run a party shop much as a country, but
yeah. So this is the kind of thing. I'm wondering if it's not maybe Patterson used to play cricket in his youth days, and this is the best thing he can come up with out of his mind, his senior mind, to come make this point to say he's called out to be an opening batsman, not even a tail ender batsman where you can say, all right, it doesn't really matter if you just want him to go out there and support, the batsman, whoever he or she is on fire, and they just need a tail end person to go out there and hold down the thing from the other end, and then the person at the opposite end make the runs. Him saying him coming out there as an opening batsman to show how bad things are, how things are bad in his head right now. And I'm not meaning to put him down because we have to show him a lot. He's an elder. We have to still show him enough respect.
But that's the point, Mr. Perkins. He means an elder. That's the point. That's why you have Master Mark, this Topanaris, with Mark Jefferson Golden, or read for the elder in a rocking chair and say, keep up.
I'm gonna be an opening batsman because we want to win the seat. We want to win the seat for the party. So go up there. Do you know? I don't know if you remember. We saw Cowboy come out one time with a similar behavior.
Come
blackwash Massa. And I tell you right now, I haven't seen KD in a while. I wonder what kind of condition he's in because he used to actually go out there, in the heat. And so let me just read this one comment here. Luke Goldsmith said, Mr. Perkins, it is said that PJ won 3 elections, but the question is, does stuffing of ballot boxes and stealing contribute to fair winning? All right, so that is not my opinion. That is just somebody who's writing something and read it. So I take no credit for that one, but that is how people feel. And I can bet you one thing. You go and check the age of a lot of these people who are coming. They're very young, so they know the story. So it's not like, some people did some things in the past and nobody remember that them did these things, whether it's good or bad. But people know PJ Patterson's story. They know it. And so that, to me, the least said by PJ, I have a good person who actually died because of this, what happened with Finsack, where the man lost his whole life and he was already a sick man and he paid the ultimate price. He lost his life. And for PJ to come out there and go say anything to go remind people that he was there and can take a good portion of the blame for what it is because of who he put in charge. The man he had in charge had no idea about finance, no idea about running, a government or play a role such as a critical role. Omar, a total disaster.
It was a Mr. Magoo, Mr. Perkins. Mr. Magoo, Mr. Magoo said,
Yeah.
Mr. Magoo. Every time Mr. Magoo would run up in the place to can't find them glasses.
Yeah.
Mr. Magoo very demented and he don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And PJ Patterson out of spite.
That is the worst part of it for me. Yeah.
Out of spite, Peter Phillips, a very capable, brilliant man from running the economy, from being his aide de camp, from being his second in charge, and put a total dunce named Omar Davis, couldn't run a party shop, a gas station, couldn't run himself out of a garage.
Yeah.
And they tell me, say, he put him in charge of our economy, Mr. Perkins. Look at him to here, Jamaica. Look at the man to here, Jamaica, Mr. Perkins. The man sent off. They give them upper Heathrow airport then. The Virgin Atlantic Airways for little and nothing.
For $30 million he sold it.
30 million. And Morgan Stanley right report that said each of them gave themselves was worth $1 billion.
$1 billion with a B. Just to think about it. People just think about this.
$1 billion US. $1 billion
US. One of the gates, they were willing to pay $1 billion. But Omar did a deal for $30 million because he was getting a fee and said he didn't know. He didn't know.
Mr. Perkins. Nobody tell him. He was the finance minister. You get a man to commission a report. Morgan Stanley was the host.
But all of those companies, Morgan, all of them were there advising him. But no, is where he could have gotten his cut. And that is what messed that and killed that well. So we gave, then on top of it, to this day, they gave away the name and everything to Trinidad. And then just throw the name, the great Air Jamaica name in a scrappy because Trinidad doesn't want to see Jamaica ever having it near Air Jamaica again. And there were people, but believe this, there were people there, including a man named Captain Ty, who's one of the great pilots of Air Jamaica. He was there from there, and Captain Ty put together a team to buy Air Jamaica and to continue the thing. And they said no, they closed it down.
Closed it down. I said the man never have no money. And when Morgan Stanley said we were going to lend him billions of dollars, billions US, and then turn on and said no, we already signed the deal. Mr. Perkins, you know something? Bring out PJ Patterson because all of them ugliness with him too. All them ugliness that come out in it's going to be a wonderful day for the GLP. It's a elder abuse. It's elder abuse. Bring him out. Because listen to me. You know something, Mr. Perkins? I'm torn, My mother and father teach me, don't beat up on the elderly. But apparently, Mark Jefferson Golden, the Capanars, Whisperer, thinks they have a right to beat the elderly. Beat up on the elderly. Bring out a little old man out and rocking chair and say, come campaign for me.
Come campaign. And let him come out and use this analogy about, I'm going out there as an opening batsman.
Opening batsman? I don't think he even know what a bat is.
By this time, yeah.
He might think him a batsman, Mr. Perkins. Think him is Batman.
He might put on the bat suit and Batman suit and come out when he made out.
I think the Master Marker Robin.
Yeah.
Master Marker, Batman and Robin, Mr. Perkins. You don't know, Lord God in the strength here, man. But they bring tears to my eye for them to see them. I got wicked for a whole man. Yeah. A whole man to blow who's supposed to sit and rock his chair. sit down and talk about it. I wait for to meet the Lord. We don't know, Lord.
I tell you. So you know, yeah, but Peter, the people them hear you, and we're going. What time now? It looked to me like I'm up on the hour. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's all good. It's all good. If anybody else wishes to come in, I will keep holding you for a little longer because you're having fun with it. Just make some kind of text me and say I want to come in, and I'll just clear the line, and so we can come in. We can go for it. If you call that number, the number will bring you in anyway, and two people can be there. But the thing about it, PJ Patterson should never have opened his mouth to come to try to say that whoever is running the country right now, because for one thing is for sure, we have not gone into any kind of bankruptcy since Andrew took over. Right. Can post comments to some destinations. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there. I think I seen something about something can't post comments to some destination. I don't know why. I'm going to have to look into it. But so the thing about it is that, you know, we Jamaicans, when we give people an opportunity to do our bidding, we expect results. And for some strange reason, PJ Patterson just wasted all of that by not delivering the way he should have, or he could have. He didn't. He left us embarrassed because the economy for a good number of those years when he was there, whether it's 15 or 18, because he was there before he actually ran that, you know, a full election. He just never delivered. He never delivered. The second big thing where he messed up was with this constitution. He was there for all those 15 to 18 years. He did nothing about the constitution.
Not a thing, Mr. Perkins, not a thing, because you know, him still think him as a Batman. And he loved the British rule. That's why he bring Master Park, an English lad, a sitting in Jamaica Parliament, Mr. Perkins. He loved the British rule, Mr. Perkins. Yeah. Love it. He can't get enough of it.
I guess he liked the idea that he holds a designation. I think he eventually gave it up, but he holds a designation of PC, Privy Council. You're a Privy Council. You're part of the British. You're part of His Royal His Majesty's inner court. You know, councillors.
His Majesty.
Yeah, inner court. And back in the days, it was Her Majesty. You know, that's what they missed that thing. They held on to it and never. And then you know what is the pisser in the whole thing? When he came down to them, let me just see what Karen said. She is a daughter and candidate for Northeast St. Andrew against Delroy Chuck. Stacey Knight, they're talking about somebody. Let me see. Them call out PJ to put under the foul rules for foul to crop on him. Yeah. So the thing about it, he was there, you know, that's another thing, because if I stay in there long, you know, more of the thing will start coming to my head. He was there all those years. Him coming as a black man. Him coming under the banner of Black Man Time. When he was in England, you had people like Kenyatta and Kwame and all those people here. You'd think he would have learned something and brought it and say, because Jamaica without his help is still the most influential black country out there. We influence all of the African struggles, all of the African liberation movements, everything. You know, the man who he likes to hate the most is Michael Manley. Believe it or not, because Michael Manley, He got himself into all kind of scandalous scrapes. And Michael Manley, this is why it is said, and I think Karen was saying it last night, that the reason why he has this dislike or why he despises Peter Phillips so much is that when he messed up with a thing they call the Shell scandal, some scammy deal that went on with the Shell. When he messed up, and I think they had what they call a commission, that when they went through it and they found that he was found culpable, and when it was found that he was culpable in the whole deal, trying to remember the name of the commission, and if somebody remember it, put it right there for me. But with the Shell scandal. And when Michael got so disgusted because the thing, and he had done some other ones, the sugar deal and the bunch of the deal, even one with I think it was the Iranian one with Iran, some other kind of scandal all over the place. And Michael couldn't take it anymore, and Michael asked for his resignation. And based on what some part I heard Karen last night, I just remember that it was said Peter Phillips was sent to deliver the letter for him to sign, say he has resigned. Apparently, he eventually had to resign because he left I remember when he left the government. And did he ever leave the party? I'm not so sure if he left the party. Karen can fix me on that one. But he left the government. And when he used the term, you ever hear the term that goes, I shall return? I think I must say MacArthur, I must say one of the military, MacArthur one of them. General MacArthur said, I shall return. He made that utterance when he was leaving. He said, I shall return. As I tell you, if I sit around here long enough and I talk, the rest of some of the stuff will come out. Right? Let me see what current. Okay. Yeah, and they say, I shall return. When he was thrown out of the government because things were so bad. We never had the IC. And because you see this IC, some of those, the same judge were carrying them, call them out all the while. Where the judge man, where him come and try play this game like him is some kind of, gifts, well, it's a God's gift to man. Who is the one who is encouraging this nonsense? And when he's coming out of that club and with those judges and lawyers and come out of the same club with them hang out and them beat them chest and law and with them do and with them not do and with them not do. So that is the thing with this thing. Andrew not got to, well, nobody not find Andrew guilty of anything yet. And let me say I'm saying I'm not out here batting for Andrew Hollis. All I know is what we hear and what we watch. They get people to dig into his stuff, and they have not come up with anything. And when them can't come up with anything, them even hang him up and say, hey, you're not going anywhere until this other group go through, and how long it's going to take, because we're going to make sure that we hang you out here so long that you will mess you up so badly that Jamaican people never ever want to see Andrew Holness again. And despite all of that, it never, up to now, them can't find anything. And I'm not telling anybody, boy, this Andrew is the perfect saint and anything. I mean, I know nothing about him too. But I cannot go out and accuse a man of something that I can't prove. And because people will say all kinds of things, people will brand you. People, they just want to hear one person say something bad about you, and they will talk about it as if it is real. And this,
Mr. Perkins, you have 18 years of evidence against this man named PJ Patterson, Mr. Perkins. A whole lot of real stuff out there for him.
right.
And I tell you something right now, Mr. Perkins. The PNP party has been captured by the Tapanari's class, Mr. Perkins. That's why they bring this Tapanari's whisperer, this English lord in Jamaica Parliament named Mark Jefferson Golden, the Tapanari's whisperer. you brought on I started off the program about the guy in the mayor for the Kingston and the scandal that is brewing. And the man come out and say, oh, we never use no public money to get road.
Yeah.
I know something. I believe in because it's much worse, Mr. Perkins. It's much worse than use Capanaris money.
Yeah. Money given to them, but they gave the Tapanaris, give them the money so they can win the election, so they can take control. Because Massa Mark tell us already that him and him Tapanaris friends, and let me go to it. As them say, let me go to the videotape. And bring him saying what he.
Play the tape.
and him bring it. Oh God, make me find it. Yes, he can.
Need a new direction. The Jamaican people need a government that cares for them. The Jamaican people need an honest government that will look after their interests. The Jamaican people need the People's National Party back in government with Mark Jefferson Gordon as the Prime Minister and a top honorary set of people around me to run the country in the right way in the best interest of the people.
All right, they say that. He and his Tapanaris friends are standing by, getting ready to come take over, and is who is him now? His godfather, his political godfather, come over. And it's like he's in trouble. This morning, the political godfather, his political godfather, PJ Patterson, come out and say he's coming out of the pavilion. Not even that he was sitting in the group of cricketers, and everybody standing by in case somebody go down and they can bring him out. He's coming out of the pavilion, retired. Him is the age of Clive Lloyd, him is the age of Vivian Richards, well, older than them, older than Clive Lloyd, older and Vivian.
Mr. Perkins.
And he's 90 years old. And he said he's coming out of the pavilion to go open the batting for the PNP. Is this the best the PNP can present? Is this the best they can present?
Elder abuse.
Yeah.
The Tapanaris class does not clear, Mr. Perkins. They believe in this supremacy. When the slave master come and say, yo, Rufus, he needs to still have some work left in you. Rufus could be 100 years old, Mr. Perkins. Still have to come out and work for the master. And this Master Mark, this Tapanaris whisperer, committing elder abuse from PJ Patterson. Tell him, come out for your wheelchair. Come on to the arm rocking chair, PJ.
No, you are right. You are right. You were right with the wheelchair, because I'm pretty sure he moves around a lot in his house in a wheelchair. Because the knee is bad. He messed up his knee, cracked up his knee. He by himself drove the car into the fence, into the gate post, mashed up his knee, and he was sick for a good long number of years. Quite a few years he was sick, couldn't move. And him just now coming around when he can move with a walking stick. And that's the best you can go get, because you want to win a seat for Dayton Campbell. It's Dayton Campbell. They might try to win the seat final. Dayton Campbell take the seat. There are some people who can win that seat easily. But because Dayton Campbell so desperately need a seat, they took the seat. And him, PJ, being their godfather, who is the one who engineered having these people there, him tell himself I'm coming out to the pavilion, just like Hyacinth father, as I said, from keeping up appearances, come out and think he was still in the war, wearing him old English helmet and use an orange as a hand grenade, and running around with a piece of board gun and pretending thinking he's still in the war. This is PJ Patterson. Think he's still playing cricket. He still thinks he can play cricket. I don't know.
A poor elder, Mr. Perkins, a poor elder charge and have a cell phone, because they know what a cell phone is, Mr. Perkins.
I wouldn't go as far as saying poor, This man is one of the rich man them in Jamaica. Don't make nobody fool you.
Well, he was a Tapanaris, Mr. Perkins. You know that. He is a part of the Tapanaris class.
Yeah. So they try to use this thing to make us you know, think they can come with PJ. Because that's how it can you imagine now if a Portia Simpson Miller was up to it and could be brought out there, they would have whipped her out a long time ago. But I tell you, that's why I say, you know, every time I say, you know, God is a comedian, you know. Because here's a time, them same one destroyed her, you know, or helped to destroy her. And here comes a time now when she could have really helped them. And I mean, them would have, if you think they'll abuse, you think PG as a senior coming out and telling himself saying he can go play cricket. Poor Portia now, I don't know. And thank God nobody no use her the way they go bring them out so people can laugh at her. You know, let the woman enjoy her years, her senior years, in a quiet way, and not to be made a fool of. Because this joker come up and say him going to come out as an opening batsman. Not even say him going to come and sit in the pavilion and inspire because PJ Patterson's in the pavilion. And he's here, sitting, see him there waving to you, to the batsman. Because I remember one time when Nelson Mandela, when South Africa was playing a rugby, you know, South Africa is one of the great rugby countries. And when Nelson Mandela just came out of prison, Nelson Mandela went down to the team and gave them a talk. You know, gave a talk. It inspired them so much that they won the trophy that year. Because you, an elder like a Nelson Mandela, and he was quite old when this happened, but just the presence of that elder could have made, you know, not that he went out there to go, he could never be part of the game, but he went there, just his presence. So a role that a PJ Patterson, if he had played his innings right in the early days, in the days when he was prime minister, if he had played his innings right and well and had appointed Peter Phillips and allowed the Jamaican economy to grow the way it is growing now. Not grow, but I can't use the word grow so much because it's not really growing yet, but it will grow. The economy will grow. I have no doubt it's going to grow. Unless Holness come and do something silly and throw it off. But where it is going right now, it's going a good way. It's going in a good direction. And if he had left a good economy, if there was no FinSac, because FinSac was caused by the actions of Omar Davis with PJ Patterson as prime minister, aiding and abetting the whole thing. That is why the country is still struggling so hard where it is right now. But because the foundation was set, a good foundation was set from way back, from what Peter Phillips left, it is still holding on and growing new roots and taking root and growing stronger and stronger. Let me see if I can see anybody. Go ahead, Peter.
Mr. Perkins, man, you make too much sense tonight, you know, because look at them, man, they don't really want to hear, you know. They don't want to hear Mr. Perkins. All they want to do is follow the bidding of the Tappanaris class because the PNP party has been bought, paid for, owned by the Tappanaris of Jamaica. The PNP party has become a party of the Tappanaris, for the Tappanaris, by the Tappanaris, Mr. Perkins. They're not part of the people anymore. It's not the People's National Party anymore. It's the Tappanaris party. Because now the People's National Party is now being led by a Tappanaris whisperer, an English lord, sitting in Jamaica Parliament, trying to rewrite our constitution. Sitting in the Jamaican Parliament illegally. Illegally, Mr. Perkins, illegally. An English lord sitting in our Jamaican Parliament illegally. Yeah. And the PNP party sit down there, and then the next act, don't follow this. Atrocious behavior is to commit elder abuse. And tell him some 90-year-old after whatever bring out the hits of yesteryear. Yeah. Bring him out so he can win the election for them. When him up, make him go there, Mr. Perkins, and put him in a suit and tell him to go dance. Yeah. He can't dance that no more. Yeah, because that's his era. He's straight out of that era. And yeah. So if he had said he was coming out to go dance some scab, you probably say, all right, because sometimes we'll find it funny when older people go out and dance. Put him on TikTok, Mr. Perkins. Yeah, I would have put him on TikTok and all of that.
But to go say, well, maybe somebody should put up a thing, carrying them of a bunch of some people do some great graphics and can make all with them. You see all that Jackie with thing the face pan it and use the AI and hook carrying and that stuff. So no hook up a thing, man, and show PG go to them white suit and in bat and them and in white the big cricketer gloves and everything. You put it out there, show it him go there because me not develop the skills yet. But me don't have people on the camp who can do it well. Put on the cap, the whole time cricketing, West Indies cricket cap, the nice bat on them with the fix it up there for me, Miss Nat Stacks. You hear when you hear this water. And get your what you call it, the person who hook you up every day with the business. Your moderator. Ask your moderator to hook you up with something like that. Bring out the cricketer, man. Bring out the cricketer, PJ Patterson. Because him say my cricketer, I come out. Opening batsman. Man, listen.
Elder abuse, Mr. Perkins. Elder abuse. But you're not a mark, you know, like wicked out there. No, we see the kind of wicked that the man has to. If want to elder abuse, Mr. Perkins. Listen to me. Doesn't PJ Patterson have a family that love him? What is his family saying? What are they doing?
I don't know why they allow this to be happening,
If it's my father or grandfather or great grandfather, I'd have to put my foot down and say, listen, move on, go away. You know, I've used my elder like that. But apparently, I don't know if him have anybody in life that really care for him. Because it don't make no sense, Mr. Perkins. You can't come treat your elder like that. I thought, but and then become like this English lord. I come and talk, but him have to come serve me. Right? My God, Mr. Perkins, what is wrong with the PNP party?
I tell you, that is a very good question. What is wrong with the PNP party? Yeah, that's a very good question.
What's wrong with them, Mr. Perkins? What's wrong with them? They have a cry, they hate a hurt.
Hey, people, I'm gonna pull it up, because I'm looking at 90, coming up to 90 minutes. Peter, I thank you, sir, for coming and making a very, strong contribution to this program. I want to come back. I have a number of things. I have a very good program that I want to do, and I don't know, but I just want to mention it in preparation for doing that program. I don't know how many people have been listening and paying attention to a very special thing that has been taken in the world. There is a new energy that is taking over. It comes from what they call from radio waves. It is invented by, for short, his name is Max, a youth man from, I think he is just about 45 or 46 now, a young man from Zimbabwe who developed a new energy. The energy, he has invented a car or built a car to use this energy. He has built a bike and he has built a drone, and he has also built a small portable power pack that can power your house. I don't see any reason to say this story is not true. I see every reason to say yes, it is true. It was actually launched by the Prime Minister of Zimbabwe between yesterday and today. Yesterday it was launched. The energy is going to put the electric car out of business. Elon Musk, unless Elon Musk acquires this technology from this man, it is going to put Elon Musk electric car out of business, because Elon Musk probably can get up to 60, 80 miles on a charge. This charge is perpetual. It goes on and on. It recharges itself like how old-time car, bicycle or cars used to recharge the battery. That's how it works. But this can go for 20 and more years. And so this new thing has come up, and I want to put together a program on it. I might not come live with it. I might just produce something and put it out. But that is one of the most exciting news coming out. We had one man named Tesla. Between him and Thomas Edison, they created the light, electricity. And I think Thomas did the light bulb, helped by a black guy. And then you had Ford, who built what Ford first name is, Ford who built the car and became Henry Ford, and he became famous for building the car. This man, Max. Go again? Oh, the model, yeah. This man, yeah. This young man has developed this energy, which is going to replace all of the energy as we know it. Pretty soon we won't have to go to JPS or any of them. So the only thing that will happen is who sells those batteries, those chargers, those small handheld power supply. Because the way it works, as long as air is flowing, as long as there's oxygen, as long as there's air, as long as it doesn't have to be sunlight or whatever, or any kind of light, it charges from the source, that radio wave. And that is what's going to replace everything. And it was invented by a black man in Zimbabwe. We have not been seeing it in mainstream media because they're terrified of it. They actually tried to kill him. It was he had a partner, and they actually poisoned both of them, but he survived. And he's around to tell the tale. So I'm going to try to put together that program and put my analysis to it and say whatever I can say and put the whole thing together. So that one is coming soon. And I also still want to go back. I never, I just dealt with the thing with the KSAC thing in a very superficial way. But that KSAC story needs some serious, deep analysis. So I have those things I'm working on. So more than likely, even before the week is out, I might do that again. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Peter, I want to say thank you for joining me, for making your contribution. Let me take down this thing out of the way because I'm not hiding from anybody. Where is it?
Mr. Perkins, all I want to say to the public and everybody is that, keep on watching, subscribe, and give the thumbs up and hit that bell. And I was wanting to say to everybody again, to PNP people especially, we have to stop the elder abuse.
Yes.
Stop this elder abuse.
Right. And so let's let it go here. People have to go to work, them have to go to bed, them have to do this. And I want to thank everybody who came on to make this program thing. And I'm seriously thinking of changing my time because I think I'm getting a fairly good response from it. And I want to get more people involved. And this is a good time. Sometimes it's for the people, you could still be driving your car and listen, coming home from work. The people in places like England would be seeing times such as 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. They can be involved and they don't have to stay up way past all kind of ungodly hours to listen or participate. So I'm trying to come earlier to give everybody, many more people a chance. All right. So thank you, Sir Peter. Have a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, from the JUS posse, from the JUS nation, I want to say thank you. Just Jamaica TV, Jamaica under the spotlight, JUS TV with your host, Stafford Perkins, saying good night. Thank you for joining me. Bless you. Just hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit those buttons, make a last comment, and just help let us work and building this channel because it's growing nicely. And I'm doing all I can do to, strengthen it and to do more and more. And I'm going to be trying to come more often to also, because I've not been coming often enough to make it stronger than it has been. It has grown though, and I'm going to be coming more often to add more fire to it, more fuel to the wood. All right, thanks everybody. Have a great night. Have a blessed night and a blessed rest of the week. See you soon. Bye.